And
we are live from Keeler Gardens with yet another installment in our virtual programming offered to you from the north side of Chicago out to the world so everyone can join us. So we take these first few minutes, of course, to say we're Keeler Gardens on the northwest side of Chicago. And if you don't already follow us, please like us.
Keeler Gardens is live.
Because you will get a notification that Keeler Gardens is live and you can join us and interact and participate. And that is actually becoming an important point that we want to present to our community and communities everywhere that are watching us. That these interactions are critical and crucial, especially now with our limited interaction and our physical distancing requirements. So we're going to start with mentioning some of our distant viewers. We sometimes have viewers on the East Coast. We've had viewers from overseas joining us. And just because our message is coming to you from the north side of Chicago doesn't mean that what we have to offer can't be of benefit to you. We can interact. We're here to help you along in your building your connection with nature. So with that said, we're going to specifically talk today in continuation of our week-long discussion of youth programming and youth opportunities. We're going to talk to you today about some of the wonderful benefits that education with a connection with nature offers to our youth. We want to bring this to you right now, this youth focus, because we were just reading, we're just learning here in Chicago that CPS, the Chicago Public School System, will be having school all online, all virtual this fall, which means students will not have as many of those interactions that they could benefit from. Students will not have a varied environment. They won't be leaving home and going to a different environment during the day. They won't be going outside for recess. They won't be participating in after-school sports and gatherings. And we don't say those things to scare you and to make parents freak out about all the different requirements for this coming year. We say that to you because we want to walk with you on this path and help you with some of those activities and some of those opportunities for your youth. Now, we'll start with some of the benefits that incorporating nature into our young ones' lives. Ed, you have the spreadsheet and
Yeah, so nature can definitely, oops, I'm really loud because you're really quiet. I'll come over here. So nature can definitely improve the health and well-being of youth. So actually, one of the most interesting things I find on here is that starting even before the youth we're talking about is nature exposure for mothers can promote better fetal growth and healthier birth weights.
So we talked about that in our general health series that we did, the benefits of nature series we did a couple weeks ago, that yes, it is shown that birth weight improves when you are connected with nature. So for those of you that are interested in starting your kids off strong, there's the first step for you. And then once we get into those formative years, those young years, things like nature play, nature views, nature activities, nature immersion have certain benefits. Ed, give us one of those.
Healthy eyes and vitamin D levels. Time spent in bright sunlight can reduce nearsightedness and increase vitamin D levels.
So this is a unique one that, you know, we're all very, very concerned about spending too much time in the sun. But
Hi, Gina. Sorry, not you. Gina is watching.
Gina. A little bit of time in the sun is actually a benefit to us, increasing vitamin D, which is a crucial vitamin, and some even consider vitamin D almost a hormone because it is used in the body for regulation. This idea of improved eyesight, we've always gone to carrots for improved eyesight, but bright sunlight and acclimating to the ability to see in both bright sunlight and moonlight, it widens our visual range.
Here's my favorite, is social emotional well-being.
Okay.
Learning in nature can support improved relationships, reduce stress, anger, and aggression.
So in times when not only are we seeing...
Oh, hi, Peggy.
Hey, Peggy. We're seeing an increase in some of our childhood symptoms. Some of our youth are experiencing more symptoms because of their anxiety, their fears, their lack of interaction. Spending time in nature can actually
Reduce stress, aggression, and anger.
So these are a wide range of benefits that this nature experience gives you. And we have a whole slew of these. We're reading off of a very interesting infographic that was put together, and the references are included in that imagery, and we will do our best to find a way to link or copy that infographic so that you guys can see some of this data, okay? But to move away from the specific benefits, because we want you to know that generally nature connections bring these benefits, but we also want to talk about specifics with what's going on right now with the need this fall for youth to have more opportunities, more programming, and more educational opportunities and learning activities. If you're physically near us, we have this pollinator space. This space is active until a hard frost. And even after a hard frost, it actually is relatively active because many of the plants are substantial thereafter.
Would you say that this would be considered a green space?
This is a green space.
Well,
yeah.
funny you should mention that, because access to a green space can foster the increased the likelihood that girls remain active into adolescence, and children are better able to cope with stress when this says they live near trees and other greenery. But again, it doesn't have to be your own yard as long as you're accessing it.
And I think there's another quote on that website somewhere. This is the Children and Nature Network. It's childrenandnature.org. They do mention that high school students, when they were exposed to nature views, not even immersion, but just views, it allowed them to better cope with stressful situations and trauma. You're laughing.
Yes, because Peggy made a comment about our green space and a purple, yellow, red, and orange space. So
we have this view today. Yes.
We are very happy that the sometimes the flowers don't come out very well in the background. But with that green space, that's one of the reasons why we want to take the time to share these videos, is because there are studies that show even looking at pictures and interacting with videos of green space can have some of those same benefits of spending time.
And that brings us to another point that we'd like to make with respect to how can we assist you with nature connectedness and programming from a virtual perspective. Ed's over on that side going.
And if you want even more videos of wonderful green spaces, you should go to the SIGA, Chicago Excellence in Gardening Award.
Chicago Excellence in Gardening Awards. That
YouTube.
We have put our video up. Please find our video. You'll find a link to it in a previous post. Give us a thumbs up and vote for us, but you'll find a series of wonderful videos,
gardens.
All beautiful gardens. And people have done a phenomenal job of creating some very professional imagery. Ours was definitely homemade, but it does give you an idea of what we're trying to do.
And you can see Hunter at the 9-second mark.
See Hunter. But our goal here to talk to you today about these virtual messages, uploading an image, looking at other images, working with us virtually through a Facebook Live or a Zoom meeting, where we can reach 6 or 8 or 10 families worth of students from a virtual perspective, but we can be going through the garden and we can be educating, and that experience, that immersion, even though it is virtual, has benefits. And it offers your youth, it offers community members another opportunity, another way to keep their youth involved and keep them connected. And it also combines the use of technology, which students are familiar with, and they want to stay on their phones, they want to stay on their iPads. So maybe we don't have the opportunity to have you come from, let's say, Marengo, or come from the South Side today, or on a regular basis. But if we had programs that we wanted to work on together, we could offer these things regularly too.
Say hi to Maggie.
Hey, Maggie. Maggie, you know, this is a good conversation for you because you do have youth in your household, and we would love to hear from those who feel like they might need some additional resources. What resources are you looking for? Are you looking for some kind of a workbook or a worksheet that your youth can do at home with you? Are you looking for virtual programming that you can tune into at a specific time every day, and we talk about, for example, what's in bloom or the evolution of a particular plant? Like, for example, this is an aster, so it's not in bloom yet because it's bloom.
That's an aster?
This is a native aster. That's what they do. Yeah.
This is a big aster. I was not trying to make a joke. I just was being honest.
And we would talk about that size and shape and We can look at it from a lifestyle perspective. We can look at it a life cycle. We can look at it from color. We can look at it from native aspect. And we can look at it even from an artistic point of view. We can look at it to, okay, this is what we're going to draw today. Or we can look at it from a design perspective. That is the value of some of this virtual programming, that we want to make sure that any family, any household, any youth, and any adults that need this kind of programming, let's make it more accessible. Let's offer it to everyone. So Ed keeps checking the comments, but no new comments, right?
There is, but I'm going to use it for hashtag stick around.
Okay. So before we move away from the youth benefits for their health and well-being when exposed to nature, and what programming that you might be able to take advantage of both physically here in our space if you want to come and sit and enjoy the space. Remember that programming can be virtual and it can be just as effective with certain outcomes. Just to remind everyone, we try every afternoon to put on meditation music, which really helps in reducing stress and refocusing. We have a couple chairs in our front yard that people are welcome to sit in to enjoy that meditation music. And if you sit calmly in the space, you will see the butterflies and you'll see the pollinators, and you may also enjoy one of our community cats that will jump in your lap.
Yeah, I'm totally not watching you right now. I'm watching the monarch flittering around the milkweed.
So these are just a few of the things that you can enjoy locally, and let us help you virtually also. We're here every day for you, every weekday. Yes,
well,
I'm looking at the monarch too, flitting about. Okay, so you've listened to us talk about who we are and what we do and where we are. We want you to please donate to our fundraiser if you see fit. Ask your employer if they will be willing to match, because we have a match program going on for the next about week and a half. Our donor is willing to match up to $500 in donations.
August 15th.
Halfway there.
Yep.
All right. So we're going to start with that mention. The second mention is don't forget to thumbs up our video on the Chicago Excellence in Gardening Awards. And if you have any kind of green space that you enjoy, please do the 60-second video.
This is Chicago. Tell us you uploaded it. We'll vote for you. You vote for us.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Tell us your story. That's all it takes, is a story for us to all come together in this program. I have put out in a couple of the groups that I belong to worldwide to ask people to participate. Do the same. Share our posts. And share our posts about liking us, share our posts about our fundraiser, share our posts about potential programming. So you've listened to me talk. Gina
if you have
at
any
KeelerGardens.org.
And if you have any questions about especially moving into the fall, if you want to help, any help of any type of nature being incorporated into state learning standards, give me an email, ed@KeelerGardens.org. And our website, KeelerGardens.org, is looking
we thank our interns for profusely.
Cooler and cooler every day. Make sure you're checking out all the changes they keep making.
With all of that said, you have earned your hashtag stick around.
And Peggy just put in the Chicago Excellence in Gardening Award. Thank you.
Peggy. Thank you.
And so hashtag stick around. One of the things that I saw was that Peggy in the chat said hi to Meggie.
Oh.
And one of the things that I think we might have mentioned.
And Meggie are actually social friends outside of their connection to Keeler Gardens.
And one of the things that it got me thinking about was when I moved to Chicago in 2000 with Gina, one of the things I would do is I would walk down the street and say hi to people, and people would put their eyes down and
I would like sort of tap them on the shoulder like,
don't do that. Don't talk to people. You don't know who they are. And one of the things that we continue to find is, and I think I've told this story before, but that slowly as Gina worked every day out in this garden long before we knew it would become Keeler Gardens, she slowly got to know every single dog's name in the community.
So what would happen is I would be working in the garden, on my hands and knees or bending over, and so all I would see are knees and feet, and then the dog walking by. And so I'd wave at the dog, I'd ask the dog's name, and I had no idea who the owners were. I didn't recognize any of the owners. But man, a dog walked by and I knew that it was Joe or Brittany or Prince.
You're giving a shout out to all.
Or
we haven't
Jet,
seen Murphy for a while.
Murphy. Sparrow is a beautiful dog, so you get the idea.
Did you mention Charlie 2 doors down when we met him as a puppy?
And Lulu, and Lulu's whole family comes
but
to visit us very often.
through the garden, it's created this much larger sense of community. And even though we are physically distancing at this time, just the mere opportunity, it's like Maggie and Peggy got to kind of see each other, and at Keeler Gardens, even though it's virtual. And I love that people are sharing these and even getting to know our regulars on the videos to say it's part about building that community. So thank you.
Stick around. As Ed mentioned, we're building this community, but we're doing an actual shout out to our regulars: Gina, Maggie, Peggy,
Dr. Cafaro,
Michelle, and some of our other regulars, Donna, that we do see on a regular basis. So we really appreciate your interest and your following us, and any way that we can support you, let us know.
And the shout out that Peggy just did, that Maggie writes for Natural Awakening
Yes.
Chicago Magazine.
Natural Awakening Chicago Magazine. Please look them up, go to their website, see what they do. It's a wonderful opportunity to stay connected and learn more about what's going on naturally in the area.
Excellent. So I'm going to, since we don't have any more questions, I'm just going to pan around and let everybody see a little bit more of the garden.
Great.
All right.
Nice to see you all. I'm going to climb out of the garden here. All right? Take care, everyone.
Gina just said absolutely with a heart. All right, everyone, have a wonderful day.
Wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow with Feature Friday.